I have the honor of introducing the publisher and editor-in-chief of SOMA magazine, Ali Ghanbarian. After leading a promising career as an engineer, Ali has become well known for his impact on urban San Francisco and for his ability to identify exceptional talent. In 1986, he founded the International Magazine of Culture, Fashion, and the Arts, SOMA, which has recently won a Best of Category award from the Printing Industries Association. He has launched the careers of numerous high-profile artists, writers, designers, and chefs, and has started some of the most well-known restaurants in San Francisco. Through his work, he has transformed different areas of San Francisco into some of the trendiest places in the country. I'm honored to welcome Ali Ghanbarian.
Thank you, Emily. I know you had to try hard to learn my last name. I have trouble with it too. And thanks, Samir, for inviting me here. I am not your typical publisher, so you're not going to go listening to a lot of statistics from me. I have a magazine that primarily is not a usual magazine. It's a labor of love that I launched 30 years ago, 28 years ago actually, because I was a board engineer looking for something different to do. By accident, I fell in love in rundown neighborhood in San Francisco, which used to be called Southern Market. I opened a couple of restaurants and clubs in the area that was primarily rundown warehouse district, but also it was home to thousands of artists, living workspace, photography studios, film studios. So I opened a couple of restaurants that turned out to be very successful. And I ended up bringing all my yuppie disco friends to the area that was supposed to be affordable real estate for arts community. Because of that, I started feeling guilty, and I fell in love with the neighborhood and extended rich culture that existed in the neighborhood. Thousands of artists live in workspace. They're transforming my restaurants, clubs, and all these independent studios and stuff. So I decided to launch a magazine to support the creative community back then, which is not the smartest thing to do. Magazines are very difficult, very expensive, but I never thought of magazine as a business. So at the time I was very successful. For me, I was very successful restaurateur, club owner. I had good cash flow coming in. I could charm all the advertisers because I was a hotshot to support my insane idea. I launched the magazine. First 2-3 years, it was just supporting the arts community. I was trying to create Soho West. Because I was in love with Soho in the 70s and 80s. In fact, I was a big supporter of arts community and collector of arts. I'm lucky I have lots of Keith Haring, Warhol, big collection. I'm in art collection, art world too. And I happen to be creative myself. So I launched a magazine, first 2-3 years, trying to learn what it's all about. After a few years, I find a niche that I really fell in love with. And that's why I've continued doing it for 28 years, and that was, I find two things that I love to do with my magazine, which is, again, in sense of magazine business, it's not the best model, but I love what I do, and it's been very successful. And that is identifying the most gifted people all over the world. Magazine itself has gone way beyond SOMA, Southern Market in San Francisco, and it's distributed all over the world. And the core demographic is basically creative community, 18 to 35, 6-year-old photographer, creative directors, artists, architects, snobs. So they're very hard to please, and I have to stay the course, and I've kept it that way for 28 years. Simplicity and elegance and great visuals, and very unique departments that are very popular. So the thing that I fell in love with, that we finding gifted people that later on, most of them become really iconic. Some of the biggest name in fashion design, Alexander Wang, Sandra Backlund, some of the biggest name in musician, Chris Isaac, you name it. Tons of them, they've had their start from SOMA. But the other aspect that is relevant for the students, some students, I find that we love to actually getting kids out of college and train them for a year or two, those who are really interested in the magazine. And usually we lose them within a year to Condé Nast or really those who are in business of magazine and publishing. And we love that process. In fact, I look around, I'm very proud of former SOMA employees, creative directors of Vogue, Elle, LA Times fashion editor, Gap's creative director, Probably 1/3 of Apple's photographers, you name it, they've all had their start with SOMA. And we used to enjoy and love that process. Now it's getting harder because thanks to image of the magazine and its appeal. Usually now, after 3 or 4 weeks, the kids come and they put SOMA name in their resume. They get a big raise and go to digital companies and technology and all that, which is getting harder and harder, but I still love that process. And the magazine itself, SOMA has lots of meanings. One is name of a drug, one is south of market area, one is drink of gods in Hindu or Persian word, but my favorite definition is just what I do, vacation from ordinary. Every section of magazine is unique, unlike any other magazine. For instance, every magazine has horoscope. In SOMA, I somehow managed to get some of the biggest snobs, iconic people like Richard Branson, David Bowie, send me high-resolution scan of their palm. I sent it this woman in Himalaya. I've never met her. Apparently, she's such a great palm reader. After we published those palms, all these people want to go meet the woman, and I don't know where she is. This section is so successful that now Rizzoli is doing a book on that. But we're not naive. Digital is pretty hot, very happening. So we do have a great website. We do have a state-of-art iPhone, iPad app you can download for free. Nevertheless, for me, print magazine, as long as you have the right niche, right demographic, is there to stay forever. In fact, all the people who are in digital media, I'm sure they take a break, steal a copy of my magazine from somewhere and go sit in the coffee shop 1 hour a day to take a break from all that insanity of being in their desktop and all that, because page by page, it's elegance, it's simplicity, it's visuals, it's stunning, it's wonderful, and we all need to sit in our couch or neighborhood cafe and appreciate that visual. You can't get the same feeling in your computer or your iPhone that you will actually have a wonderful print in front of you, enjoying page by page your coffee table or your couch. So that's how I got in this business. That's why I'm going to continue doing that. I know we're doing good because some of the biggest companies always try to borrow our creative artists, copy our campaigns, Nike, most of the fashion companies. In fact, recently I get calls from all over the place, all over the country that, did you launch your own fashion line? I said, no, I didn't. Turns out a company named Chico, now using SOMA influenced by Chico to appeal young, trendy hipsters like Emily, drive the traffic, and they're doing a good job of it. So, and that's why I continue building on that. My dream of the magazine was to create a brand like Apple, iconic brand like Apple, like Starbucks, and I'm working on that. Working on a whole line of SOMA furniture, SOMA apparel. We're fighting with Chico over that, who has the right for it, and a number of different things. But the core of it, my passion, my love, still continue to be, although I'm getting too old for it, I should do a magazine now for my age group. Baby boom was called Coma because I'm too old for SOMA. Nevertheless, I still love the fact that we're able to find these gifted young people from all over the world. They keep magazine fresh. We keep coming up with innovative new ideas. Samir's new section is called I Pose. I get kids all over the world to pose like they're icons and legends and heroes, dress up, act, and we make sure that they don't do like Halloween or costume party. They do a great job. And so every section, we have a nightlife section called Urbanite, which is a nightlife commentary with attitude, like my core demographic. These people, they don't want to go to cities, to tourist hangouts. They want to go to places like if they had my knowledge of San Francisco or New York or LA. In fact, that section is so successful, I was approached by economists 10 years ago to do city guides to top 10 cities in the world so they can send it to their digital subscribers. Because my take on it, our magazine section has such a credibility appeal to young techies and technology-savvy people. American Express had commissioned us to do, they wanted me to do an article called 48 Hours San Francisco. If I was a 27-year-old young lady, sleepless 48 hours like now, what would I do? Well, I'm not 27, young lady, but somehow we did such a good job of it from SOMA Magazine's perspective. They wanted me to do another one for LA and New York, and I told them I'd like to push my luck, but I know San Francisco a lot more than I know LA and New York, so I didn't do it. In other words, it's my labor of love. There will always be room for magazines like SOMA. Magazine business is competitive. A lot of people get in the magazines business for either glamour, gladder, or they want to be cool. They're cheaper way of trying to be cool. They don't have a clue. It's very expensive, challenging business. And I wouldn't understand anything about business of magazine. You're going to hear a lot of expert from that. From arts and culture, for me, it's sheer, pure labor of love, passion. I enjoy it. And I'm lucky enough that I have other resources and businesses that supports it. And like even my magazine is so bizarrely unique. I won't even take many ads. I will only take ads that would appeal to my core demographics. It's now be creative community. So the ads that are not relevant, we won't clutter with the magazine with the ads. Every ad has to be almost like design of the magazine, simplicity, elegance, and visuals like that. So as you know, I'm not going to be much of a help if you want to learn about luncheon magazine or business side of it or circulations or statistics. But sheer passion and belief in the digital and print magazine, for me, there is no substitute for great print magazines. And as long as there are devoted people like Samir, I think we're going to continue doing it. And I am determined to do SOMA for another 28 years.